nights since those 2 years ago in the Watts section of Los Angeles rocked New Jersey's largest city, Newark, for 5 consecutive days and nights. At least 24 persons are killed. More than 1,800 wounded.
So Newark was a hotbed for change.
American cities were in crisis situations.
I mean, I got beaten. I thought I was going to get killed, actually.
The riots at the time seemed to me to be a rebellion, an understandable rebellion against racism, against police brutality.
We haven't owned up to what happened to our cities.
We knew about Watts, we knew about, I can't remember who came first, but so there was always that sense of what's going to happen here.
Bad housing, bad services.
And then all of a sudden you got riots and fear. It's no wonder that people decide, we're out of here.
And so we lived through a terrible time. 26 people altogether.
I don't know if Newark has fully recovered from it.
No, don't tell me about history unless you tell the truth.
But probably the bigger truth is that Newark is a city that's been victimized like so many other cities.
As wild a joint as America is,
You have to know what happened.
On July the 12th of 1967, a ordinary traffic infraction was committed by a cab driver.
A person with a classic name, the kind of name that slaves were given, John Smith.
Here you have a large public housing project across the street. And now you have white policemen who seem to be beating up this guy as they're taking him in to the police
On
station.
top of cars and say they were going to go downtown and riot. And we stood there and say, if you do that, you're going to end up being killed. If you do that, you're going to get shot. Don't do that.
But somebody threw a Molotov cocktail.
And the situation on the streets of Newark is indeed out of control. There's looting and there are fires going on.
Let me set the stage for that period. In Newark at that time, there were practically no black anything. There were no black bus drivers. There were few black policemen. So in a period between 63 and 64, we sort of got motivated by what was happening in the South.
1945 until really into the 70s, the suburbs were white territory thanks to government action.
You had the bank redlining under Roosevelt. Actually created maps where they literally drew red lines around a block with the presence of just one black person.
So here are a bunch of black folks up here looking for jobs in the industrial sector. Suddenly they got here and there was nothing here. It was like an old bait and switch routine.
By morning of July 14th, the state police are rolling into the city. And by noon, the New Jersey National Guard. Then you have the second part of the riot, which is the looting has pretty much stopped, but the killing has just begun.
In what was a barrage of firing by National Guardsmen and state police, when someone shouted, and they trained the guns on that roof and began firing.
There was an individual deep within a vacant bank who must have thought that I was firing at him. He had an automatic weapon in his hand, and what he did was fire at me.
It turns out that this is a sequence of photos, and in the next couple of photos you see that one has a shotgun, he's wearing a yellow hard hat like a construction hat, and takes aim at my friend and shoots him.
You had Watts in 65. You had Jersey City, people don't talk about that, you had Harlem, and then you had Detroit and Newark almost the same time.
The same conditions that existed in 1967, these conditions exist today.